What's up everyone? Captain Congero here, bass fishing guide in Central Florida. Going to talk to you about Headwaters Lake. It's become one of the most popular fisheries here in Florida since its opening in August of 2020. It has a high population of bass. It has Florida giants. It's not uncommon to catch a double digit or put together a 30+ pound bag on any given day throughout the year. So in this lake breakdown video, I'm going to share the layout of the lake, the structure, and my favorite fall tactics. So Headwaters Lake is a 10,000 acre man-made lake in Indian River County, which is located in Fellsmere, Florida. The FWC and the St. Johns River Water Management team both work together in creating habitat and structure on property prior to flooding. From flooded timber to submerged vegetation, it has acres and acres of hydrilla, hyacinth mats, spatterdock pads, cattails, and reeds all throughout from the north end all the way to the south end. Once they flooded the lake, they went ahead and stocked 1 million bass along with red ear sunfish, bluegill, crappie, and shad. So the lake has a perfect recipe from vegetation to forage to just breed big ones for years to come. Since it was a farm impoundment, it has ditches and canals that run east to west and north to south. They're found on all sections of the lake, the east side, the west side, from the north end all the way down to the south end. So it's like an underground city. So as far as navigating the lake, you're going to see those defined ditches and canals to run the lake. It does get maze-like more so midsection of the lake. There's a lot of isolated reed islands there. Those reed islands are great areas where the fish will set up on the points along the hard edge lines. More high percentage reed islands are going to be the ones that have deeper canals that run through them. The fish and the bait fish will use those ditches and canals like highways. So fish are always moving in and out of those, and certain sections will hold wolf packs. So those are really good high percentage areas. Alright, so with all that structure on the lake, it could be overwhelming, sensory overload, because everything looks fishy. But a great way to eliminate those less productive areas on the lake during the fall is to locate the healthy grass. The topped out grass that is brown and dying off, you want to avoid. Those areas are going to be oxygen depleted. The fish will move out and go find that healthy grass. You're also going to want to locate the deeper pits that are nearby canal intersections, because that's where a lot of fish will get concentrated on the ledges and the points of the canal mouths. The deeper pits are going to hold those large schools of gizzard shad in the fall. So because they're gorging on shad, I'm throwing a majority of shad profile baits. Alright, so let's get into my fall arsenal, what I have tied on the deck. I'll start off with the big baits. As far as paddle tail swim baits, one of my favorites is the Megabass Mag Draft 8-inch. This is the brownie color, but I will interchange between the brownie and the white. The brownie to mimic wild chiner, and the white to mimic the shad. I will downsize to the 6-inch if I'm looking to get more bites, but a majority of the time I'm throwing that 8-inch size. Another really good paddle tail swim bait that I just started using and really love is the Working Class Zero Battle Shad 7.5. Super natural swim to it. Great shad profile. This thing is one of my favorite paddle tails in addition to the Mag Draft. Now I'll be throwing glide baits as well. I'll throw this shad profile glide bait. This is homemade by my buddy here in Florida. This one is a 6-inch size, but he also makes an 8-inch size that I throw as well. It's a slow sink, so it's perfect around the shallow areas and the deeper areas too, if you count it down. Has a really natural swim to it. You can get a nice erratic cadence to it with half twitches with your reel, or you can slow roll it and get a really nice S pattern. In addition to that glide bait, I've always thrown the depths 175 and the 250 size. 175, obviously you're going to get more bites. But if you really are looking to target that big one, throw the 250 size. The areas that I'm using these big baits, I'm throwing them at the points of the canal mouths, intersections, those pinch points. I'm also throwing these big baits along the hard reed line edges that have hydrilla. Those fish will sit in the grass, will sit along the edge in wolf packs. I'll weave the baits in and out of the isolated clumps, the holes. Anytime the grass forms a point, those are going to be high percentage areas to throw the big baits. Now, if they're not willing to commit to the big baits, I will slow things down and throw a Megabass Vision 110 jerk bait. Throwing the solid white on those cloudier days, and then I'll throw the more natural color on those sunny, bright conditions. I'll have a jackhammer chatterbait rig, threaded on a menace of vertically versus horizontal. I feel like the profile looks very natural with those tails vertical, but really mainly because of the action that you get out of the chatterbait when you rig it that way. I find that if I vary my retrieve speed, I can get that head of the chatterbait to dart erratic. It almost reminds me of like a balsa crankbait hunting action to it. My favorite soft plastic trailers for the jackhammer. Now, if you have bluebird skies, high pressure days, sunny, no clouds, and the bite is slow, say a cold front moves in, I will have to finesse fish, and what I resort to then is the Gambler burner worm or Zoom speed worm. Speed worm is a Florida staple. I have this tied on year round. It's such a versatile worm. You can slow roll it, you can inch it through the grass, flip it, pitch it to the holes of the grass, and drag that along like you would a normal soft plastic Texas rig worm. So super versatile worm, and I'm throwing this on those tougher days and when they're really reluctant to chase anything else. Another worm that became a favorite of mine this year is Zoom worm. It has a trick worm body profile to it, but then it has these really cool two appendages here that flutter just like the menace or the cut tail speed worm. It has a really nice action to it, and that's when I'm really slowing things down and finessing those fish. Another technique is punching that dense hydrilla, the dense hyacinth mats. When a cold front rolls through during the fall or the winter, the fish will get really tight to the grass, bury themselves in there, and normally punching with a Reaction Innovation Sweet Beaver. This color here happens to be one of my favorite colors on the lake. This is a black and blue green pumpkin, two-tone color. It's called a tramp stamp. I think it looks just super natural in that grass and in that Florida tannic water clarity. I will start off with a 1 ounce, and if I'm struggling punching through that grass with the 1 ounce and I have to shimmy it a little bit with the rod tip too much, I'm not getting those clean passes every punch or flip, then I will throw 1.5 ounces and beef it up a little bit, but I try to get away with the lightest tungsten weight possible. Alright, so that is my fall arsenal. Stay committed to those big baits. You're not going to get a high number of bites, but you're going to get the right ones. And if you're looking to book a guide trip with me, I'll put my website in the description below, along with my Instagram and Facebook accounts for you to follow along there as well. And please like, subscribe, and comment if there's anything that you want to see in particular. I'm going to be vlogging more on the regular here, so I'll see you all in the next one.